So somebody just uploaded something from Mario Kart World during their demo playthrough, and it is actually pretty shocking because it actually proved me wrong on a lot of things, but also proved me right on a lot of things as well. On one hand, I'm super excited for what this could actually mean for the game when it actually releases and the content that they're hiding, but on the other hand, it's just like, are they hiding anything then? Because if this is available to be found in a demo, then what's going on? Real quick before we dive in, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. You guys have been bringing in so many subscribers recently. Like I just said, recently getting over 700 new subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's see if we can get even more on today's video. But let's dive into this crazy new Mario Kart World news. So this new footage comes from Getting Mads on YouTube. He is actually a really good YouTuber. Go ahead and check out his channel where he pretty much covers all Nintendo news. He reports on everything like an actual news channel, which is really cool, so definitely check him out. He went to the Switch 2 Experience event and actually played Mario Kart World, and he has some gameplay that I've actually haven't seen anyone post yet. Like, I've seen lots of the gameplay from people that played the demo, and nothing came in quite like this one, where he was able to actually play around in free roam for a while. Now you can tell that he's actually just driving around as he waits for the game to actually start, as it says at the bottom. But because of his long wait for the game to start, it seems like his session lasted longer than a lot of other people's, but this is what he was able to actually do in his demo. Yeah, that's right. He literally just drove into this giant boat or jet ski thing on top of the water, and he's able to jump in and out of the water and just pretty much drive around with it. Now this is something huge, and maybe you think so, maybe not, but this is something that kind of shows there could be a lot more gimmicks and things that we just have not seen with this game yet. Now the reporter even says beside him that this is a vehicle that can be used in the actual races as well. You can straight drive into this thing, which is exactly how the semi worked in the trailer when Birdo actually drove into the back of it. It even had that same weird question block kind of digital warp zone when you drove into the back, which is pretty interesting. It looks like that's how we're going to be able to control these vehicles, but we have even more gameplay and of the actual semi from Getting Mads. Once again, he's still in free roam mode, and he drives into the back of the semi while it's driving down the road and takes full control over it, taking out everything in his path, literally taking out cars, trucks, giant street lights, even the guardrails, just flipping them over. I mean, he's literally even driving up ramps and ramping off of them. It looks like it has a really good physics engine, believe it or not, for a semi with a trailer on the back of it. This is so cool, and this is something that I was desperately wanting to see someone try, and I haven't seen it yet besides this one instance. Now, he does mention in the video that a major reason is that these semis were in the demo plays, that they were off the road a little bit, and that you had to actually drive off the road to get into them. But the problem is, if you actually have the antenna on, it doesn't let you drive off the road at all, and Nintendo specifically makes players drive with the antenna on in this demo event. So he said there was a lot of instances where he saw like the semi or the boat on the track, but he couldn't drive over there to it because the game wouldn't allow him with that antenna on. Clearly Nintendo doesn't want us testing this stuff out yet. I don't even know if Nintendo wanted us to see this, you know what I mean? But this is awesome, considering the fact that Nintendo didn't even show this off themselves in the treehouse. This is probably like the best information we've gotten of the game so far. I want to talk about this gameplay a little bit more because there's other really exciting things to discuss here. For instance, he's driving in this water for a while, and you can see that it goes over a large stretch of this ocean. You can see windmills in the water. You can see DK Spaceport off in the background that looks like a rig on the water. I thought it was at first, but that's actually DK Spaceport. You can also see tons of Cheep Cheeps and Porcupuffers also swimming in the water. So it seems like the game will be alive with lots of enemies and stuff, but once again, I see this stuff and I ask myself, for what? What's the reason of these enemies out here just swimming in the water? Is it just for fun? Clearly there is some type of mode or something that goes along with this, because there's no reason for there to be fish out here. Something else you'll notice here is a biplane flies overhead and drops off an item into the water with a parachute. Why? Once again, what are these items for? Why do we need an item out here? Is it to help us travel faster across the water by giving us a mushroom or a star or something? There has to be more to this, because why are we getting items? Why are there enemies all in the ocean and stuff? And another thing, you'll find some random rafts out here. Like, he comes across this raft with like these little wooden boxes and breaks them, but nothing comes out. I think if you look closely, it drops like some bananas, but like, what's the point? Now, if you look at the raft, it actually has a white flag, almost like an SOS. So once again, I really do think that there is going to be some type of story mode where there's going to be a character out there or something that you have to go out and rescue that has that flag up and that's sitting on that raft. And I think literally free roam is just that. It's free roam. It's meant to drive around, have fun, play around. But I do think there is going to be a story mode that utilizes this map to its full potential, which makes me so happy because, I mean, like, what else would that be there for? I want to talk about the vehicles again real quick because this is really cool. But once again, why? I think in races, this is going to be awesome to be able to control something like this. But once again, there's 24 racers. One racer is going to be able to control this thing. So are we going to even get to experience this to its full potential? Is there a reason for this to be in free roam? Are they going to have some type of story element with this where we have to fight a boss with it or use it for some type of side mission? Do we have to like collect NPCs that are stranded on the water in this thing and bring them back to shore? I really don't know. I'm really just throwing out guesses here. But what's interesting is it has the Super Mario Brothers red lettering on the sides, which the semi-trucks do as well. I guess this is an indicator that these are vehicles that you can actually jump into. Here's a semi, once again, having those red letters go across the screen that says Mario Kart, or it would say like Mario Bros, which is pretty interesting. So those are our indicators, and like I said, they both have these weird question block digital warp zones in the back in order to enter and drive them, which makes me believe there has to be a lot more vehicles than just these two. Now, maybe there's three. There's a land, there's a water, and then there's an air vehicle. I hope that there's more than that, because why have a whole mechanic like that for 3 vehicles? Because I really think it'd be cool if they had just like a whole bunch of random vehicles like this in the game. I think would add that flair that we were looking for. Like I just mentioned with the air vehicle, it looks like we might actually have a helicopter. We see this in one of the scenes of Toadette driving through a desert region, and it has a giant orange helicopter just kind of sitting out there. And the base of it is really wide, almost like a giant box, which makes me believe we can drive into the back of this as well and fly it around. Why? Maybe to get to some of the higher elevations on the map, and maybe this is how we get up onto some of those cliffs and stuff, because I had the question before, like, how do we drive up some of these mountain ranges and some of these giant cliffs and these big rock faces, and this would be how. Now, personally, I don't know how this would actually work in a race. I don't think that'd be a lot of fun to drive a helicopter, or fly a helicopter rather, above everybody else as they're racing. What could you even do to people? Or are you able to like drop things on top of them as you're flying above them? Is this just something that's only for free roam or for story mode? Who knows? But I really do guarantee you that this will be some type of air vehicle that we can actually fly in the game. I would be shocked if it's not. Now, lots of the gameplay that I've seen from lots of people's demo sessions have just been horrible, but this gameplay from Getting Mads actually looks pretty good. I mean, like, he's doing these really cool tricks, flipping around, jumping on rails. This makes free roam look so much better, and I just wish the Treehouse actually had gameplay like this. I mean, look at this. It's fast paced. He's just like doing tricks, running throughout the city and just jumping off of NPCs, smacking into cars, just having a blast. And that's exactly what free roam is supposed to be. There's little things that it looks like you can explore, like he's like looking in the windows and the stores and the shops. I can't wait for that stuff, and to be able to find maybe like little Easter eggs and secrets and stuff, maybe callbacks to past games, will be so cool. But yeah, it looks like the NPCs do kind of react with you. You can throw items at them, they'll bounce off, you can bounce off their heads as well, but they don't really do anything. They're just there. Like, there's a Spike in the park throwing a spiked ball at you. There's a bunch of like little Captain Toad characters walking around with their little bags, and you can trick off of them and stuff, but why? And even the guy that's beside him says like, hey, you could trick off them and stuff, but like, what's the purpose? And also a random star just bounces out of nowhere and he picks it up and just takes off with it. Like, this just excites me how fun this looks, just being nonsensical and just driving around, just doing stupid stuff. But that's why I really hope there's more to this. And I hope that they're not letting people do everything you can in the game already, because this is a lot, and that was like my one worry. Like, there's just so much going on here. If you look closely in this scene, it does look like the star maybe comes from this vending machine at the left that's like bouncing up and down. It seems to have eyes that's very Mario-like, and it's shooting out these random items. Like, you'll see it even shoot out a banana after the star. So maybe you can go to these little vending machines, and that's how you pick up items and stuff. So maybe there's a reason to get a star or something in this region. I don't know. Probably not. Just a random item that came out of the vending machine. But once again, just my biggest question with this game is just why? Why this world? What are we doing in this world? Like, is there something big that they're hiding? Surely there is. I can't wait to see what it is. Also, is that door open into that building? Like, we see a bunch of coins in like the parking lot or something right in front of it, and there's also a food bag right in front of the doors. making me believe that you can just drive straight through, because why would they just put a food bag right there in this random part of the building? Like, it literally looks like it lines up with a door, like we can drive into buildings. And if we can drive into buildings too, game of the year, like straight up. One last thing I'll mention is we see him driving in this ocean for a while, and it looks like it's very expansive, and it's very easy to tell where he's at because he comes upon Crown City from the south, which shows he's probably right about here in this ocean, considering the fact we also saw DK Spaceport all the way back there to the south. He's definitely between DK Spaceport and Crown City. But look how small it looks on the map, but how huge it looked when he was playing it. Like, this map is going to be massive, and that's great, but also a little worrying because I hope this map is filled with things to do. I can't stress that enough. Nintendo has to make sure that there are a lot of fun things to do on this map. But from what I've seen from this little demo station, it's not enough to make me say, oh, it's now worth $80. Like, clearly, I have to see why these things are in the game and what they actually amount to. But it definitely makes me a lot more happy to see this, because it shows me that there's a lot of things still left. And I'm hoping that this Nintendo Direct coming up really just blows this game out and gets everybody on the mindset that, yep, this game is worth more than $80, you know what I mean? Because I think it's very well possible. I'm not under the belief that this game can't be worth $80 just because it's just so high. If this game has a full-fledged, free roam mode, story mode tied to it, tons of missions, even overworld bosses and stuff, extra game modes and stuff to do in this overworld, and it just feels like it's just so overwhelming with content, then I can easily say, yeah, this game is worth it. So we don't have to wait long. The Nintendo Direct is coming up this Thursday, and it's going to give us everything that we need to know about this game. But let me know in the comments down below, has this new demo gameplay made you more excited about the game? Has it made you less excited? Definitely let me know. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and thank you guys so much. I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.